What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's well tonight, today, whenever you watch this. Kyle Fritz here, coming at you from Florida, from a really extreme level of like well-being and contentment and just wellness. Like I've never been like this. I have to share it. I have to. Even during this long journey, it's just been hard to articulate things and even just think. And more and more, that stuff is a thing of the past, and it's just So I just want to, make a video on my journey, some of my journey, like with health and healing, and people used to say it was extreme, but now I know what I'm doing that's extreme is good. I want extreme health, and finally, it's paying off, guys. So I just have to share, and basically, life's good. Making videos again is feeling really good, and I just want to do better and better every time. And that's why there was nothing wrong with the other ones necessarily, but and no video will be perfect, I'm not perfect, so, but most of you, I feel like if people watch this, will get the message I'm trying to share. So I just went to a really good hot yoga session. Oh my gosh, it's been great. And like I said the other day, in one of those videos, just in case no one hurt, my kidneys are filtering a lot more consistently, and part of it is, I believe, from the hot yoga. I notice after I do the hot yoga that so everything is getting better, guys. Everything, and the kidneys, that was a rarity. Okay, when they would filter, that was rare. So so basically, I'm gonna keep it simple, just because I know I can do it, and I need to just do that. But it's not a simple journey. I'm keeping it simple. But life is complex. We know this, so it's just so it's just amazing. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about my healing journey, and I just can't stress enough how good I feel. And it's not my ego. Look, people, I've never had health my whole life, and the times that I'm not experiencing detox things that are coming up, it was just getting less and less. The times I'm not experiencing that stuff, guys, I am regenerating, I am reborn, I'm rejuvenating, I am just transforming and transcending into what I've always wanted to be, is just, giving back and just able to have my voice and able to have my body and all of it. I even lost spiritual stuff because I was so bogged down by just in my opinion, for me, the raw food and all that stuff is going to wake that up like you wouldn't. It's even if you're already like that, if you're living a spiritual, religious life, whatever it is, or if one part of your system, if your being is flowing good, it's just going to flow better with the raw foods, with the fruit especially, and all these other parts of you that might not be where you want them to be. Because like I said, I have so much gratitude, and now I'm able to. I was like, man, am I ever going to be able to give back like I want to, and just try? And like I said, if no one watches this, I don't care. And I tried, and if people do, I hope they get something out of it. This is just me during the journey, so that's really important. And there's not a lot of videos about people on doing a long grape juice fast or something. There's a lot of master fast videos, but that's kind of what I'm doing. But anyways, it's just it just helps to have someone who understands, you know, even if you don't get anything from this, like, whatever, it doesn't matter. So if I sound hokey and corny or any of these things, it's meant because, man, well, this is just me being like what I've always been designed and been here to do, and like my passion has been these, just shedding the light and trying to live in truth, and I wasn't able to do it for a while, or really ever close to my abilities that I'm still discovering. So anywho, guys, let's see, the journey, you know, I'm gonna just try to keep it, you know, like I said on the last video, it's like there's so many so many ailments physically, so many blockages mentally, all of these things. It's the same thing, you know, and the more you take responsibility, ownership, and yeah, it gets better and better. Sometimes you gotta go the distance, dig a little deep. So, and so, anywho, journey, my health journey, like, yeah, basically, like, I've had asthma basically my whole life. I didn't even have to use my inhaler at yoga tonight. Like, I usually have to use it like once a day generally, and that's especially if I like do any sort of exercise or working out. And I didn't even have to use that during it. I was also super aligned and calm, but like still, like, I mean, I'm sorry, I usually don't have this stuff coming up, but it's usually out yeah, other ends. But so drinking some of the GI or the some of the good herbs here, stomach tea and lung tea with some lemon balm and or whatever else I put in there. Yeah, oh yeah, totally. So this stuff freaking works, and I'm not trying to promote, or I'm just sharing. This stuff is a real freaking deal, guys. I mean, just the love and the intention and the combination of these herbs. Like I said, I've done a lot of herbs before. Like, I made tinctures before a long while ago, and I've done, you know, I've known the herbs, and some better than others, but like, and done other formulas. But these will rock. I'm certain they'll rock your world, and if they're not like guaranteed what it is, you know, there's a certain point when the more cooked food and the more acid forming, mucus forming foods that you put into your body, there's a certain point that, like, even going on fruit for a month isn't gonna, like, because that's what I've been doing for a year, being pretty rigid with it, and taking herbs a lot of the time, Dr. Morse and other ones and whatever during this time, but not the whole entire time, but pretty consistently with, you know, just the ways I like to do it. And anywho, it's just mind blowing when you start to finally experience these things that, like, Arnold Ehret talks about, and just all these great teachers talk about, you know, like natural hygienists are great, you know. We got there's so many great teachers out there, guys. I'm not even gonna try to name them all right now, but so anyways, I'm gonna try to keep this, like I said, focused on you know, giving you guys what hopefully you guys could use or might need at the time, just as, and so, like, you know, asthma, allergies to the point where, like, cats and dogs, pets, so bad. Anything synthetic, you know, go into a freaking mall or something and I smell the perfume. I mean, anything that is, you know, not carpet that is most carpet is not good to begin with, and then it's coated with whatever, even if people vacuum it. So the allergies, I had no life on so many levels, like so my close friends, this is why, if you didn't understand closely, if you didn't understand like exactly and you want to know more and you're watching this for some reason. But now I've got a lot of other amazing friends who are doing this, and he just healing the world basically. There's amazing people, and you guys know who you are. So yeah, but like lots of stuff, guys. Like something I didn't go into last video that is major is like my you know, I talked about my ulcerative colitis type stuff, and like what, you know, not as bad as most people, but I had that type of stuff, and all these, I talked about a lot of stuff I left out. My fractured pelvis when I was 16 years ago. It's just it was insane. I'll just go into it quick. Skateboarding really, I have a broken hip, man, and it's like sometimes, especially lately, sometimes when I'm doing, like when I did my water fast, or certain times the other side, and it's all correlates with the iridology and the eyes and everything, and like one of my eyes is like more sensitive, and like the last video, you know, you could tell that like my eye was, well, I could tell. I'm sure people wouldn't tell if they saw it, that my eye is more like nerve stuff. I got nerve stuff. I got emotional. I have all these things, guys, and facing them, and it feels great, because to finally be getting results that are incredible, like So that has messed up my gut stuff, though, like the fractured pelvis. I mean, I was going off like a 12 stair, oversized 12 stair, and trying to 180 it, and I tried to bail and I couldn't. Only 1 foot bailed, and I did the splits off, you know, whatever, 10-foot drop or whatever it was, going fast, and that was hard. That was nuts. And ever since then, my health, I don't know really how much. I don't remember that much of my childhood, but I do know that my health wasn't great before that, but after that, it started. The bowel stuff just started, and I've been trying to freaking get well my whole life, and you know, sometimes more than others, and sometimes just giving up for a while and then trying this gluten-free, or trying all these things. Like I've been gluten and dairy-free for 8 years. That's just try to avoid soy and GMO, same thing, all that for 8 years, and just, you know, all these things, all of them, man. I've tried all you know, the keto, all these little things, man, and it's just like, dude, got to regenerate your body. There's only, like, you know, you got to get out of the body's way, and there's different ways that you can do it, and you can coincide them together, and you can pull back and go on this. And the fruit, man, the fruit is the key. Beyond, it's just the biggest key, and it makes sense. So like it all makes sense. So like, yeah, like that whole pelvic thing, my body's like, you know, longer on one leg. My right leg is like longer, and then like the one I didn't break it on seems to have more stuff going on or whatnot. But like, anywho, like, you know, like I said, I had like prostatitis type stuff 12 years ago, a few times, and just stuff that and just things down there that, you know, weren't perfect ever. So for as far as, yeah, you know, like sexual stuff and whatever, not always bad, but anyways, yeah, I'm trying to respect all parts of this and part of what we are, you know. So I'm just but yeah, like hypothyroid, that's what I've had. Like, you know, a lot of stuff was just stuff that like got, how long, that was like, oh, you know, whatever, it was in some way before, like symptoms, all these symptoms I've had my whole life, and then it's like, you know, you like 15 months ago when I got real dis-ease symptoms, like and I started juicing hard, hitting up, like, you know, the lemon ginger blast, and going back to Dan the Man, and just for inspiration and whatnot, and just all these, and anywho, it's like I basically had you have all these symptoms, and I got 15 months ago when stuff crashed because I was overextending myself physically, like really crazily, and work life, and just I stopped sleeping for like a year, like, and I had to work 18-hour days, and like whatever. Sleep has been better, but like it got a lot better the past year, and even more so now. But I'm still not in the circadian rhythm. I'm trying my best, but whatever. But like my point is, guys, is you know, that's what I'll talk about. Like you know, like things, these health challenges you've had, they're not problems. Challenges you've had your whole life or whatnot, or any kind of stuff, like it's gonna, if you don't totally work on it, it's gonna come back in a different way. And that's the whole thing with like doctors and a lot of naturopaths, is they just try to treat your symptoms generally, and you can't just cover up this stuff because it's gonna come somewhere else. So like, so basically, here's a health thing. Quickly, I'll explain it. 10, I don't know, 9-10 years ago, like I got really couldn't talk, and like for 6 months, for like not the whole time, but it was like 2 weeks at a time. Sometimes I couldn't talk, and it was like, this was a year or two after like a year after I stopped smoking cigarettes, pot, and and stuff, and so like there's still little shreds of it, and I could feel it came back like an itch, just like it came back on my 12-day water fast on like 8, 9, 10, 11 each day. So these things come back. It's like what I did was I went from a standard American sad diet to a like more plant-based, but I was still eating like, you know, salmon, you know, the good salmon or whatnot, you know, and the grass-fed beef and all these things, and better. So I slowly like went out of that, but like there was no true healing, because like and you can hear it now even a little bit, you know, it's a lot, just going hard on this like day 53, and anything that you can manage, you know, it's just ups and downs and but whatnot. But you know, I really wanted to make this video, so I hope I don't sound that muffled, but it's just, yeah, they finally put a scope down my throat because all these irritants and thousands of chemicals from drugs and the drugs in the cigarettes mainly, and it's like they're like, you look fine, and like I was coughing so hard my balls would hurt, like sometimes it was nuts, and I just felt like there was stuff, and it's the lymph. It's just, it all rings true the more I go down these roads. It's the lymph, man, because they put a scope down my nose, look down my throat, and they're like, you look fine, like, so just because you go to like a better diet doesn't mean you're healed. Sometimes you need to go to the best diet, okay, guys? And sometimes you need to hit the fruits hard, and you know, if that's what you choose and where you're at and what you need to do. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try to keep this one kind of short, but yeah, dude, I'm just like, you know, there's so many. I'm not going to go into all the symptoms. I'm sorry, but there's so many that are key, and like there's so many I can't even put together still, because I've been still so clogged up mentally. But it's more and more yeah, like so mentally scattered, so unfocused, so just hypersensitive. All these things, and like a lot of it was from the drugs back in the day, like. It was, and I did, you know, like bad ones, and I did mind expanding ones that really helped me, and that's, yeah, and it's just like, anyways, it's not, but it's also, it's just mucus. I've been so clogged with mucus. The more I go down this path, like I said, you just experience it more and more, and it's not reading stuff in a book. It's the knowledge you've been reading and watching and practicing and understanding just keeps ringing more and more true. So like, the mental stuff was bad, but man, it got insanely bad. I even had fatigue every night because I always push myself physically. But, you know, up until 15 months ago, when I really started to buckle down, but 12 months ago when I found Morse and really buckled down, you know, it's, things got so much worse with the mental stuff, and just like, I was so fatigued that I could not, like, I've been laying in bed like for a lot of the last 15 months just with my eyes closed, just because trying to save my energy, and at times, like, you know, I'm not sure if what's going to happen to me, and content with it because I'm sick of suffering, but I'm done with those phases. Like, it still happens, the fatigue, but like, it's just amazing how all correlates, and it's like, man, the more I release stuff and in this like really getting cleaner and cleaner state, it's by no means close to clean. That's why I'm still going. Like I like I said, I was kind of scared to stop the lemon and grape juice fast, but like or no, like that I was like having fear and all these things, and like I ate a couple handfuls of grapes that night, but it was like no. The next day I was still feeling amazing, but like not. I still have obstructions. It's something you get in touch with it, and that's what people need to do. And it's hard when you don't have your like you're not able to always feel your body or like parts of like your heart or or your any of these areas of your head. You sometimes it's like all you know you gotta just let go sometimes and just keep doing the good things. But yeah, always been spacey, anxiety. Like low levels for the last however many years, and you know, never really. I had maybe depression back when I was like 18 years or 14 years ago or something, when I was getting into the bad drugs and getting and but never. You know, I learned from those experiences. That's what. Even though I've been suffering this a lot of this time, like there's people who are in a lot worse position. So that's but even though I was suffering the whole time, it's like I've still been happy. So not much depression, but yeah, just always coughing, blowing nose, and like nothing coming of it, just white or clear snot, and it's like always blowing my nose, like up until during this juice fast, and always. And nothing with that means that you're not getting to the deep, you know, subacute, acute, and chronic levels if you're not getting stuff out generally, right? Unless it's going to come out another way, like my transverse is bringing stuff out another way, and ways that aren't eliminating perfectly right now, because none of me is eliminating perfectly right now. My digestion, my absorption, utilization, and elimination, all these things are kind of out of whack. And so I've always had fatigue, and I ignored it for so long. And then 15 months ago, the worst in the world, like it would just hurt me to think about getting out of bed, and like hurt me to think about texting someone back or talking to someone. So if anyone wonders why I've been in the dark in that sense, that's why. So, you know, it's just the clearing the throat was so bad. Like, you know, I had a huge high protein diet. I was, you know, even the last up until 15 months ago, that's what it was. Only no fruit, just only Lara bars. It's like dates and nuts together. Like, I mean, I had some fruit, but it was more veggies and meat and some raw. I always try to do some raw, but yeah, no, like just general inflammation throughout my entire system is just flowing away. Just it's beautiful. I'm so blessed, and yeah, I'm trying to keep this one real short, guys. But yeah, anything else I could just try to, yeah, like, you know, the symptoms got super rough the past 15 months, and holy moly. So it's there's so much I could explain, but it's just, that's just a little bit about like the things that I've been doing. And like, you know, I've been doing like, you know, 100%, like 70 to 100% fruit, but more towards the 100 for a year. And then I'll have the mess ups, and that constitutes, you know, that's the nuts or the vegan Indian food or whatever. So it's just like so many more symptoms. And like, you know, I don't know, the spiritual thing, like my path there is like, man, every part is getting better. And like I had one of my first really profound spiritual awakenings was like 12 years ago or something like that, and ever since I've had little ones, and or big ones, and just, but that was like the completely aware of my actions, how they affect the world, the people around me, all this stuff. And it's just tricky because there's always some stuff that you don't want to stop practicing. It's a practice, guys, to do this stuff, to practice this diet and change your habits and mindsets and all that. And it's just, I don't know, like, there's a lot more I could say, and yeah, but just so many new symptoms, like pain in my knees, arthritis, stuff that I never really had. All these things have happened, right? And it's just because I never truly healed from all the. There's quite a few times when I had, worked myself back to health. I've been at this a long time, like a lot of you guys probably have been, and to finally have the answer, like after 16 years of a lot of it trying really hard, especially the past 10 years, generally just trying to live that all, and it's just like, man, now once I found it, it's like, man, the more if I try to talk about it with people, which usually I won't, or I wouldn't before, because it's like, it's so outlandish, but it's like so simple, and it's like, how, but it's like, wait, you used to come to me for health advice, or you used to, people would before, like for a while, and now it's like, they still do, but like, now it's like, oh man, what is this? It's the truth though, and I have to spread it, and I have to give back. And like I said, like that's just some of my health journey and all the, but everything's healing, mind, body, soul. I've never had the mind body connection like this. Like it's just, I'm just super grateful. But yeah, like I'm just trying to give a little bit more back and make another video today, and just be, I was feeling really good after the yoga. Usually I'm not up for it after the yoga, but I'm getting better. So guys, feel free to comment or Facebook me or whatnot, and like I'm not saying do any of these like crazy to most people, but some people who understand it and have been practicing it and have been experiencing it, it's the most sane thing you can do if you want to get well. And so it can be hard. It can be hard. So like stay strong, stay focused. If you're able to have that mental acuity, even if you're not, you still gotta somehow fight to stay alive. But don't, fighting stuff is not always what I recommend. Sit back and try to listen to the flow. And yeah, life's a gift, man, and I'm not gonna waste mine. And that's what I've always urged other people to do, even though if I wasn't fully practicing any, what I needed to do to do certain things. But guys, sometimes we gotta let go and focus and tune in, and we definitely need the support. So get it somehow. Just please, just like get the support. And that's just some of my journey. Like I said, I know I can keep going for quite a while, as I did on that emotional eating video, which I will do again if I can't. I'm pretty sure I deleted all the videos, but I'm gonna do that one, the overeating, food addiction video, because it was like an hour. I can keep going, guys, but it's just, I'm trying to be, real. I don't know, like I said, I still don't know if people are gonna watch this. I didn't really share the videos with many people last time or hear any input, so it was just more for me and me getting stronger and me and solid and my energy, and just so wanting to give back and share just in general in my life for so long, and it hasn't been able to happen. So guys, I love you much, and I hope the best for you, and many blessings on these difficult paths, okay? All right.